Otherwise, next turn I'm going to get Chavez. And so we're going to need, and I have to play Jubilee. They played Juggernaut. What in the world is this nonsense? It's the same oh my god, it's the same combo that got them last time. Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Marvel Snap video. Today I'm really excited to bring you this deck. So I finally broke into Pool 3 of the collection log. So I think I explained it briefly in my last video, but for those of you that don't know, a pool of cards is just a set range that you're going to unlock them from the collection log. So the first pool being from collection log level 1 through 214, and then from 215 to 450 is pool 2, and then from what we've seen, pool 3 is vast. So the odds of pulling the exact same card as somebody else is a lot more rare than in the other pools. So each card that you unlock feels really unique and really uncommon. So it's really exciting for each of the cards that you unlock to kind of test them out and see how good you can make that. So this deck it's a variation of a wave ramp deck. So wave being a 3-drop that turns all of the cards for both players into 4-cost cards next turn. So this can do a couple of good things. It can slow down your opponent if they have a swarm deck where they're playing a lot of 1-drops, 2-drops. It can also allow you to put out additional value that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So on turn 4, you can drop a Hulk. You can drop an Odin into a turn 5 6-drop as well, because you can re-trigger wave. There's some really cool, unique combinations with this, but that's kind of the general gist. Then we have Sunspot, because if we have a fairly high mana curve, so if our draw is not great, Sunspot is usually able to absorb some of that unused energy and become stronger. So we can throw him into a location that maybe you can't play cards after turn 2, 3, or 3, 4, and 5, or you can't play cards after turn 4. You can throw Sunspot on there. As you pass and don't utilize all of your energy, he's going to grow stronger. He can often win you that lane. Now the Lady Sif is in here because her ability lets you discard the highest cost card. At first glance, it kind of seems strange. So the goal is to discard the Infinite and then into a turn 3 Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider is going to bring back one of your discarded cards to that location. So it can get really, really nutty. So when I was testing this deck out, I had a Lady Sif in my hand. I had an Odin and an Infinite. Lady Sif discarded the Odin. When I played Ghost Rider, it brought back Odin, which then re-triggered Lady Sif, discarded Infinite, and then also re-triggered Ghost Rider, which then resummoned the Infinite. So I had a 38 power lane on turn 3. It was the nuttiest thing I have ever seen, and that combo is just one of the many ways that you can win a lane. So the goal of this deck is to really burst out power into 1 or 2 lanes and kind of lock them off, get them locked down. And so that's what the Storm is doing in this deck. So Storm, on reveal, flood the location, and then next turn is the last turn that cards can be played there. If I follow Storm up in an empty lane with a next turn Juggernaut, that is going to push any cards that they play in that lane into another lane. So it then becomes really, really difficult for them to get cards into that lane once it's been locked down. So it's so many like small little combos, and then even if you don't draw those, you have Jubilee, which can top deck your Chavez, your Odin, your Hulk, your Infinite. It can top deck any of those. And then you have Enchantress to kind of stop the Devil Dinosaur decks. Those are really running rampant because they're really powerful right now, and so that can stop those in their tracks. You can also stop things like Iron Man, Onslaught, some other really powerful ongoing effects. So that is the gist of this deck. Just some really, really powerful cards, getting them out early. But the way that these interact together is the best wave deck. It's the best feeling wave deck that I've been able to make, which was really brought home by being able to pull Ghost Rider, which is a pull 3 card, and Juggernaut. Juggernaut really ties it in and helps you lock down those lanes. So even if you don't get Storm, let's say one of the locations, and I forget the name, but it's the one where it moves cards after turn 5. It moves them to random locations. That leaves that lane open on turn 6. And if you were winning one of the other lanes really heavily, on turn 6, you can then drop Juggernaut, which is going to push anything that your opponent plays in that lane off to another lane, which can single-handedly win you that lane because they don't have any time to react to it. Or you can also, if you time Juggernaut correctly and they try and get some additional value, maybe they play a Nova, and then they're going to follow up with a Carnage next turn for some reason, and they don't do it all in one turn, you can push that Carnage off into another lane if you time it well, if you're lucky, and that Carnage is going to destroy their other lane, which they probably don't want destroyed. So really funny, kind of nutty combos, but it feels very consistent. It doesn't feel like a normal just one combo and done deck. So what I've been finding I enjoy is in a deck having more than one really strong, powerful combo that is going to win me and lock down a lane. And so this one being obviously your wave into any one of your 6-drop cards, a Jubilee into a 6-drop card in that lane can really get you a really strong start. A Lady Sif into a Ghost Rider, resummoning any one of your 6-drop cards. A Sunspot into it growing into a locked down lane. A lot of different paths to that ultimate end goal destination. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into a few games and let's test it out. From what I tested, I only tested maybe 5-10 games, but it just felt really, really consistent and really fun. So it has a lot of high swings to it. And it's not something that's on meta, so the opponent usually, more often than not, misreads how strong your hand is, because it's not as easy as telling, okay, well, they played Moon Girl, they probably have a double Nova, I don't think I have this locked down or won type of thing. So let's see, we have Sunspot, Wave, which we'll be able to drop on turn 3, into an Odin on turn 4, into a Hulk on turn 5, and then whatever we draw, probably America Chavez on turn 6. So we're going to get 3 6-drop cards out this game for sure. So I'm going to drop Sunspot, I think in this middle lane, just as a kind of backup or fail-safe. And so this one being, when you play a card here, shuffle 3 rocks into your deck. Okay, so we want to avoid that. Having Jubilee draw a rock is one of the worst feelings you can ever get. I had a game where I got 4 6-cost cards onto the board, and none of them were summoned by Jubilee, and Jubilee triggered twice. So Jubilee ended up pulling. Do I do it here or do I do it here? I think I'm going to play it in Hellfire Club. And then if I draw a Juggernaut, this is the Strange Academy. This is where at the end of turn 5 it moves all other cards to random locations. If I get Juggernaut, I can drop it on turn 6 here, and that's going to push anything that they play off. So anyways, I had a game. I was trying to remember what I was talking about. I had a game where I got 4 6-cost cards onto the board. I triggered Jubilee twice, and Jubilee summoned a rock and a wave. So both of the summons were not great. Wave was a decent one because it was on turn 6, and I had a location that reduced the cost of 6 cards by 1. So it turned the 4 into 3. I was able to drop 2 on turn 6, and it was a massive swing. But it never feels good having a Jubilee pull a rock from your deck. And so they have Onslaught. We are probably going to plan on dropping an Enchantress here then. So do I want to... Do I want to pass? No, passing would get me 5. I think that I drop it here. We assume that he's going to play like an Iron Man, a Devil Dinosaur, something big in this lane. And we're going to follow up on turn 6 with an Enchantress. We are going to have Initiation though. So if they don't drop it this turn, that becomes a lot more difficult to navigate. So hopefully they drop like an Iron Man this turn, or a Devil Dinosaur, or whatever they're intending to drop. Hopefully they do it. Oh, that's odd. That's an odd combination. And so it drops over here. It's just not a super strong turn 4. And they have... No, I have Initiation. Shoot. So I think... So that's 11. If I drop a 4-drop here and it was Iron Man that they drop, then I lose this one because I have Initiation. Or if they're just kind of trying to fake me out. I think I have a somewhat decent chance here because they're going to have to overturn 2 lanes. I'm not feeling incredibly confident here, but I think this is my best bet because it splits it up. I don't think dropping like a Jubilee into a deck full of rocks is wise. So they're not doing anything on here, which lets me win this one. What do they have going on here? Maybe a 1-drop trying to turn it? Ultron. So that's going to be 4 cost here. Okay, good. So that Khazar would have won that game for him had it not been for being able to stop the Onslaught Khazar. So Ultron being another pull 3 card, which is pretty uncommon. I don't see it very often. But it's good to know that I was able to counter it. Because Ultron, it just kind of feels a little clunky. And I apologize, I didn't bring up the ability very long, but Ultron's ability is on either side. It drops 4 1-cost, 1-power minions. So it becomes kind of clunky to win with that. And so it looks like they're doing something like a Khazar Onslaught, which would then buff all of those cards by an additional 2. So then they become... It's an 8-power lane, which is still pretty... Feels a little insignificant. But... I'm not sure how to play the cloning vats here. I am going to drop Sunspot maybe a few times. So then if, let's say on turn 5, I pass so I can summon the Infinite, I could get something really massive. So I could get, 5, 10, 15, 20 power swing on turn 5 for skipping. I'm not sure that's exactly how I want to play it, but I don't have any other play line right now, so I have Enchantress. I did get Storm, but I don't have Juggernaut to follow it up. I don't have Jubilee to pull in a Chavez. I think right now I just go with the Sunspot combo and just hoard the Sunspot. It doesn't look like they have anything. They're probably going to go with a... or try to go with a... I would think... I don't know what they're running because this deck looks really oddly pieced together. And anytime you drop a Medusa not in the middle, or anytime you're running a Medusa, for that matter. But I think they're probably gonna, if this was a player, the only play line that I can think they're going for is a Nova buff over here. So now that I have my my Sunspot army going on, I think I turn this into a non-cloning vat lane. And so that would be turn 5, turn 6. Oh, yep. So turn 6, I'm going to go ahead and end, but end snap. End and snap. So turn 6, oh, they have initiation, so they got the cloning vats buff off, which is a little unfortunate, but nothing huge here. So I'm going to play Lady Civ. That will drop a card. If it drops Odin, Ghost Rider will resummon Odin, which will then trigger Lady Civ to discard Infinite and to resummon. So I'm going to put this in a completely empty lane, and let's just let it run free. Worst case scenario, I have a 27 power lane. Best case scenario, I have something like 35 power lane, which is just so nutty to be able to sneak out on one turn. And maybe I should have waited one turn just to really drop it as a surprise on turn 6 where they don't have any time to react, because I'm going to draw Chavez, so Jubilee becomes not something that's necessarily desirable at that point. But I could have dropped Jubilee this turn into that combo next turn, which in retrospect may have been the better play. Am I going to be able to turn this lane? I don't think I am. And these aren't ongoing effects. So the only question is, are they going to be able to turn this lane? I don't think so. So I honestly think I just pass here and let my Sunspot army just get super strong. Okay, yeah, this has to be a bot. There's no way anyone runs this deck. And if you're not a bot, I apologize, but it seems like an oddly pieced together deck to be in the higher ranks. All right, so we got another. We have an 8 cube win and a 4 cube win. Let's keep it rolling. So this deck being off meta, the opponent often misreads it. So I know when I'm playing against a Dyno Collector, if I've lost, I know it. You know it pretty easily. So you can usually get away with losing 1 cube, 2 cubes maybe, if they did snap. Oh, if I draw another 6-cost card, this turn 3 is going to be huge. And I could put it into Kiln if I wanted to. Ongoing effects are doubled, which we don't really have many here. I'm still going to play, I think, the same way, because either way we're going to resummon some cards. At the very least, we resummon Odin, which I could resummon Odin in any lane, I suppose, and it doesn't. Oh, it's the combo guy. It's the combo guys. Where do we drop this? So do we drop it here this turn? Do we wait a turn, block off one other lane that will give him 4 spaces to work with? And when you're looking at a collector deck, you need a lot of spaces to play cards like Cable, to play cards like Moon Girl, to play cards like Agent 13 to buff that collector up. I don't have any great ongoing effects, and he has Devil Dinosaur. Collector almost always runs Devil Dinosaur. I'm going to ruin this lane, and then on turn 4, I'm going to play Ghost Rider. I hope I don't draw Hulk or something crazy like that. If I do, I guess it's okay. We just won't get the huge combo. Okay. And so he'll drop cards here, but it really, really limits his amount of space to play, having that we have Kiln here. So Ghost Rider is going to resummon Odin here, which is going to trigger your Lady Sif. Is going to discard Infinite, which is going to re-trigger your Ghost Rider. It's going to be, I think it's 35 power, because it's then going to resummon Infinite, which is just so nutty. Turn 4, we could have had it on turn 3, but we wanted to wait a turn and kind of get this. Oh, nice! They have a Juggernaut. I haven't. It's kind of weird that a collector's running that. A collector Devil Dinosaur is what I would assume. And so now this. It's so nutty. 35. And we have 2 lanes locked off. No more cards can be played here directly. Indirectly, maybe. What do we do here? I think we play. I think we play this. And so next turn we can either drop Chavez or we can drop Enchantress. If they drop a Devil Dinosaur here, or even maybe a Moon Girl, they would only be able to play 1 card next turn for turn 6, which with them, with collector dinosaur decks, you really want to be playing. It's a high card deck. You're playing a lot of cards. You're getting through a lot of cards. So there is the Moon Girl coming in. I have initiation here. So okay, yeah. So I would have had initiation. In that case, dropping Enchantress on turn 6 wouldn't have been the play. I would have dropped Chavez, even with a Devil Dinosaur being maxed out at 7 cards is 14. They would have had 15 power. It would have been close. I don't know if I had any buff that Sunspot would have gotten there, but it would have been close. All right, let's play 1 or 2 more, just to kind of get a feel for some of the different scenarios. See if we can get some other cool interactions to happen. I don't think I've used Jubilee in the last any of the games that I've showcased. She does have some kind of niche uses. For games where you don't necessarily have a good draw line otherwise, so like a Storm Jubilee, which I may drop somewhere. Lady Sif into Ghost Rider at some point on turn 3, 4, and 5. Oh boy. So I think I dropped the Lady Sif just to have a potential target for Ghost Rider. And then we drop Storm on the left lane next turn. And followed by Jubilee to pull up our Chavez. That lane is really... I'm going to have to commit big resources to it to be able to make that happen. So Enchantress, or like actually summon a 6-cost card manually, because I'm not going to drop a Jubilee there, which I guess I could technically drop a Jubilee there. But is it worth it? So we have... Okay. Maybe I play this differently than what I was thinking. I think now that I drop Ghost Rider and Sunspot. Ghost Rider is going to bring back the Hulk. On turn 5, I can drop Jubilee, which will top deck most likely Chavez. Ideally, Infinite. And then on turn 6, I can play Odin to get an additional card there. We leave this lane as is. I think that's the play. So Omega Red, it's a strange card to play. I haven't seen that card often. So there's our Infinite. So we're not going to be able to top deck the Infinite, which is unfortunate. What else do we have? So we have Juggernaut, we have Wave, and we have Enchantress. I think those are worth the... Are those worth the potential? So if we get Chavez, and then next turn we get Juggernaut, that would be 13 and 8, 21. I'm trying to decide if it is worth skipping this turn, letting our Sunspot buff up here, and then just dropping a 20 value card on this lane. So they have a Dinosaur. They have to have a Devil Dinosaur to try and get this, an Iron Man. So an Enchantress here would be huge, because they're going to try and swing the lanes with the Omega Red ongoing bonus, which is if you're ahead by 10, you get +4 to your other lanes. So now, what do we top deck? What do we get Wave. So in our deck, we have two potential options for this to get. It can either get Juggernaut, or it can grab Enchantress. We of course want it to grab Enchantress. We have Initiation. If it grabs Juggernaut, anything they play is going to go somewhere else, so like an Onslaught, which I think is probably what this is going to be. I would very highly suspect an Onslaught. Or maybe a Devil Dinosaur, but we have Odin, re-trigger that, we get Juggernaut. So that's going to push this random card over into our flooded lane, and it is Onslaught, which is what we thought, which is huge. It's not going to do them any good. Either way, it wins, but did I snap? I should have snapped. I don't know if I did or not. And so it's one of those decks that's really, really hard to read, because you don't see Ghost Rider very often. You don't see Juggernaut because it's still really, really rare. And to that point, you don't see Jubilee all that much. Like, it's really niche. Like, a lot of people are trying to make it work with Wave being the premium pass card. But a lot of those decks are really inconsistent. If you win by a lot, but a lot of times you'll end up passing until turn 4. And this one just feels so much cleaner. Oh no. That is the worst card it could have grabbed. It could have grabbed Hulk. It could have grabbed Odin. I would have been fine with either one of those. No. But... it'd be risky. It would be risky, but do we risk it? So we can play Lady Sif. Lady Sif is going to discard either Odin or Hulk. If it discards Hulk, then on turn 6, I can play Odin in the far left lane, which will then trigger Ghost Rider's ability, and it'll pick up Hulk. But if it is reversed, then we're just kind of out a card. I think I risk it. I think I want to risk it here. Let's gamble. We got 50-50 shots. House favor. Let's see. Hulk. Dang. Nope. Okay. So it turns out we don't have a lot of other good on reveal abilities. I guess we could have hit a Jubilee, a Wave. We probably shouldn't have. We probably shouldn't have played it like that. But that's okay. Yeah. You win some and you lose some. That time we lost one. Because we could have waited until turn 5 and dropped it just like normal. So they're gonna steal one of our cards. And I believe Mantis does from the top, so they probably got our Chavez. But we have the... That makes me so sad. I could have dropped that into Odin. What are they playing though? Like, what is their end game? Like, they'd have an Angela here at the very end of this lane. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Ooh. Do they have any ongoing? They don't really have any ongoing. So I think I pass here. And the reason being, on turn 5, I can drop Wave, which will make my 6 cost cards cost 4. And then with Titan, it's going to make them 3. If they, by chance, did not top deck my Chavez, oh, and they get my Odin too? So rude. If by chance they did not top deck my my Chavez here, which they'd snap, so they might have. They don't have a lot of room on this lane, but they're gonna go for a Nova buff. Is the only thing that I can think of. And so Nova buff this turn, unless they drop the Hulk or Chavez that they top decked from me. And they were going to try and do the Nova combo next turn. Either that or they're going to drop Chavez next turn, because they got 2 of my 6 cost cards. Oh boy. I may have messed that one up. No, they didn't get my Chavez. Okay. So now they can't do a Nova combo. There's no way for them to get it out. I can play Hulk Chavez in one lane. They can't do anything here. If they have a Khazar, they can play 1 card. So, oh, they have Blue Marvel. Now they have me scared. Blue Marvel. Ooh, if they have Blue Marvel, I lose. Because that would give 1 buff here, 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 and here. They win it. Do I... So it's going to be... It'd be 4 power, so it'd be 15. I could get this to 16. Do I pass here? Be a 6 energy card, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I pass here. Or not pass, but just play 1 of my 2. In anticipation of a Blue Marvel? Is that what they have? No, just a Sentinel. Just a Sentinel. Why am I overthinking that? They have just a Sentinel. Just a Sentinel. That's it. What kind of deck was that? I was thinking of all kinds of obscure scenarios that could have happened. Okay, let's grab one more game. Just because that one felt... It didn't end in a way that felt extremely satisfying. I took a couple of gambles, or I took a gamble. It didn't pay off, but I was able to still secure the victory, even though I misread their final play entirely. It wasn't even close. I never would have anticipated they just drop 1 card being a Sentinel. So we have Sunspot, Storm, Infinite. No, and then Wave. I think I drop the Sunspot in the middle lane, and then we see what we draw, because we don't have a necessarily good combo. Only 1 card can be played for each player. No, that's not great for me. That's not great at all. Well, that's not great for them either, because most of a collector deck is made up of 1 and 2 cost cards. So I have a nutty idea. I kind of want to throw a Juggernaut in anticipation of them playing something like a Moon Girl or a couple of low-cost cards, maybe? I don't know. If I can get a Juggernaut to get one of their lower value cards into Space Throne, it'd be huge. But we're not going to be able to play anything after turn 4. And then I just pass. So if I can get something... No! What? What? Okay, so a Devil Dinosaur there is kind of... It's scary, yes. But I don't think it's just downright awful. So what... I don't think they really run any 4, 5, or 6 cost cards in a collector dinosaur deck. I can't think of anything that would be worthwhile for them to have in there. And so this becomes really, really difficult for them. I think I just pass, because I'm going to have to get him up to... With a 7, that'd be 14. I have to get him to 14. Because they now have that, which will buff up this lane some, which is okay. We're not going for the win on this lane. If I can compete in the middle, I can win the left lane for sure with the Nymphonaut. It just becomes a matter of, can I get the middle? So we have 5 here. Oh no, I can't. So we have 5, which is going to make that 12. Oh boy. I don't think we can do it. I think we're going to have to do something strange. What? What? Okay, so if they do nothing here, they win. If I drop a 4 cost card to stop the ongoing, they win. If I drop that, they win. This being the Space Throne really, really messed with our flow. So even if I tried to play a 4 cost card like the Enchantress, that's not enough to win this lane for me. Since when do they start running Warpath? I've seen maybe a few run like Shang-Chi, maybe an Enchantress, but Warpath seems like a really weird tech choice, because you get his ongoing bonus from a lane being empty. Which with a Devil Dinosaur Collector, you're wanting to play cards, a lot of cards, to get the Collector buffed up. The odds of you having a completely empty lane seems really low. But it did win, so I guess I can't. Oh, wow. Okay, you're confident. So, I'm gonna wait and see what I draw this turn. And then we drop a Sunspot. I'm thinking that we then follow up with a Wave into an Odin on turn 4, which will then let us do something big on turn 5 if we need to. If not, it slows them down vastly, and them being a collector deck. So with them doing the snap early, I assume they have double Oh, no, they can't. So if they have... I was thinking they had double Nova, right? If they have double Nova, or a Nova and Moon Girl, they can't play it in Crimson Cosmos, because it's a 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, and 3 cost cards are limited. They can't play it there. They drop their collector here, so they can't play it there. I don't know what their ideal path is. So if they drop a Dinosaur here, that is their one Dinosaur. They still they have a Moon Girl in their deck, but really, what are the odds of them getting it? Oh my gosh, what a terrible turn for Shin. That is just unfortunate. So I would assume that they are going to drop a Carnage here at some point soon, as soon as they can. So they can drop one card here, and they'll be able to drop one card on turn 6 or turn 5 as well. And I do think this is we could have done an Enchantress, but I don't think we needed to. We have Sunspot in there to get buffed up. We have a Carnage in this lane, which is what we would have anticipated. But that is their one destroy mechanism. They typically don't run a Deathlock, the 3-drop card. They typically don't run that. So now the question becomes, do we drop Jubilee to top deck our Chavez and then hope that we draw Infinite next turn? I think we do, and I already snapped, right? I'm feeling pretty confident because they can't add any more cards there as they play cards. The most they're going to get is 14, but I am now tied with 14. And they didn't drop the Enchantress in the middle lane. That's so weird. I don't know what their ideal path there was, but it was not what happened. Cannot be it. I know I said one more last time. Let's get one more, and I'll try and cut these down as much as possible. But overall, these games are so consistent with a deck that I was really uncertain of when I built. I haven't seen anyone run the Storm Juggernaut combo, especially not with the Lady Sif Ghost Rider Infinite combo. It just... Oh, Dr. Doom. Which on reveal add a 5-power Doom bot to each other lane. What is this? Okay, we're gonna pass. We played them. What was it that they were running? It was the like Omega Red, right? Do I drop that? I don't think I do. We'll see what it looks like next turn, though. Because if I'm able to play... Oh, I can play him. I can play him in the middle lane. And we have the Ghost Rider combo. This is big. So I can drop him next turn, because he's gonna add a 5-power card to the other lanes. Or I can do wave into Dr. Doom on turn 4. Turn 5, we can, whatever we draw, if we draw another 6-cost card, we can get it out. If not, we can do a Storm to destroy a location. I think that's how I want to play it. I think I want to play it with the wave. So the wave, and then I'm going to actually physically play Dr. Doom. Oh, they had a Cosmo and they wasted it on that left lane. That was not created by... Ooh. And so this... could be. Why didn't I snap? Why have I not snapped? They are running the ongoing. That's what it was. They're running the ongoing buff. So now we have that. Our 6 cost cards cost 1 less. Oh, So I think on turn 5, I play here. No, I can't. I was going to re-trigger Wave into a turn 6 double 6-card drop or something nutty like that, but so the on reveal effects aren't triggered here. So we don't want to play we don't want to play like a Jubilee or anything there. Oh no, that's not how we want to play this either. So what we're gonna want in this lane is the Enchantress. We really would like to draw the Enchantress, and so if I Jubilee into Chavez, ideally, that will leave me a chance to top deck it. Otherwise, next turn I'm going to get Chavez. And so we're going to need, and I had to play Jubilee. They played Juggernaut. What in the world is this nonsense? It's the same oh my god, it's the same combo that got them last time. I feel so bad for them. What is our play? Oh, wait, is this an on reveal? This is an on reveal. Do we hit him with the double? Because I don't think they can do anything here. Oh, if they drop something more than a 6 cost card. But what could they be going for? They could have the Omega Red, which is it's a 4-drop. I can't remember how much power it has. I don't know that this is what I want. If they're winning by 10, so they drop that, it becomes 7, 8, 9. They might be able to swing it, but I think I'm just going to go with just the safe play and swing this location. I want to hit them with the on reveal, but it might push whatever card they play here into the middle lane, and end up, if it's more than 6 power, it would lose us the game. And so let's see if we made the right call. Omega Red, which was 5 power, and they are winning it by 4, but that's not enough to swing either of these lanes. Okay, so had we pushed those over, it could have potentially lost us that middle lane, so I think we ended up doing the right call in not re-triggering Juggernaut to mess with them. But now that happened, that is the almost exact play that happened last time, where the Jubilee pulled the Juggernaut into pushing their onslaught off somewhere else. I think that is our good finisher. I think that's where we stop. We are almost at 90 rank. We've been playing kind of off and on, playing some different decks, trying them out, but this one feels really, really solid. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Now that I'm in pool 3, I'm going to be trying out some different combos. I unlocked a few cards in this pool that I haven't tried out yet. So Mr. Negative seems really bad, honestly. Swap the power of and cost of all cards in your deck. So if it was in your hand and deck, or all of your cards, you could have something like Iron Man, which becomes a 0 cost 5 power card, which then of course doubles to 10. You could have some really cool interactions, but without something like a draw mechanism on turn 5, it's not something that could be consistently played. But I also got or unlocked a couple of other cards There's somewhere in here. But I unlocked a couple other cards like Zero, Crossbones, that I haven't tried out, and I haven't tried a good movement deck either. I think if I get another card from Pool 3 that kind of focuses around movement, it may be something I try. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this this deck, this ramp deck. It's a lot of fun to play, so it will take some time for most people to get to these cards, being that Pool 3 is so vast. But that is the fun of kind of where we're testing the game out right now, is that we are getting cards that are just, they haven't been played. So right now you're seeing a lot of Pool 1 cards, Pool 2 cards. And now as people are getting into Pool 3, you're seeing some crazy combinations. I saw a leader card, which duplicated all cards that I played on turn 6. And I had played a double Nova, which of course lost me the game because then they got a double Nova as well. Just some really, really like nutty stuff that's starting to kind of come into the game and be seen. But I'm really excited for the next few unlocks, just to kind of get some different decks, some different takes on cards that a lot of people haven't really played with or interacted with yet, but just feel really satisfying to play. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure that you stick around. I am going to be trying out a lot of other decks, a lot of other content. If you are enjoying the videos, make sure that you are subscribed so that you never miss an upload. But otherwise, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.